What if God came down one day and said it's pronounced Yod then left? A large chunk of my taking the Lord's name in vain would go away. Yod knows what was in your heart when you said it. Do you want a holy war? Because that's how you get a holy war. Recognize the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid-ass decision, I've elected to ignore it. And quat. Does that mean Jesus would be pronounced Jesus? What is the worst feeling ever? That feeling that you get right after losing a person/pet that you loved so dearly. It's such a hopeless feeling, like you're reaching out and crying for someone who just minutes before was there. That's the worst feeling ever. That gut-wrenching feeling you get when you realize you fucked up something very badly and you can't fix it anymore. To this, screwing up a relationship and being left with the feeling of loneliness and there's nothing you can do to fix it. The loneliness on top of having fucked up is indescribable. When someone betray your trust when you needed them the most. What's the absolute best smell in the world to you? Evergreen forest in the rain. Also a campground at mealtime when fires are going and food is cooking. Baking bread. Canada, and it's really hard to get British tea over here. I get really homesick sometimes and occasionally I can find a box of PG Tips in the grocery store. I love opening a fresh box of that tea and just inhaling because it smells good. She flips it around, I smell it and I'm like, okay, you tell me what you need done and quat. What is the best revenge on a cheating partner? Seduce and marry one of the parents and become their new step-parent. Then ground them. From a person who's been cheated on by 2 different partners, the best revenge is no revenge. Start taking care of yourself more. Go to a movie or dinner by yourself, maybe pick up an exercise plan, and begin appreciating the fact that you can find happiness all by yourself. They may never regret their behavior, and that's not for you to ponder. Going to bed every night with a clear conscience knowing that you did your best and still have love in your heart is a beautiful thing. Be well, friend. Men, when getting to know a woman, what's something you wish they'd ask you more? The reason I am with my wife is she asked why. I told her what I do, why do I it? I told her my hobbies, why do I enjoy them? And not why in a condescending way, why in a genuinely interested way. Asking why develops deeper conversations that can really flow for a while. Is fucking sexy. What's the biggest lie that men tell themselves? I'm fine. Regarding any medical issue, it's nothing. And quat. That if you work hard enough everything will sort itself out. It won't. She can change. I can change her. What truly has a 0% chance of happening? You getting some nice women. Avoiding Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas for the entire month of December. Flipping a coin and it landing on arms. My wife. Butt stuff. Definitive proof that the earth is flat. Dads of Reddit, how did you feel seeing your newborn for the first time? I'll never forget the first time she grabbed my thumb and wouldn't let go, seconds after they cut the cord. I knew in that moment that nothing else would ever be as important. I recognized bits of every family member I've ever known, and I knew there were bits of thousands of past family members I never knew. Indifferent, I felt let down later on cause everyone said it was the best feeling. It just felt like someone handed me a baby. It was transactional and not emotional. It was like that for all 3 of them. Men of Reddit, what is one thing that you keep from your significant other that could end the relationship? I don't like her mother. To me, she's a bad person, who tries to see the bad in the others, and who sees people who work as service, retail, etc., as below her. I've yet to hear her say something nice about someone who isn't herself. The reason we are together today is because I called to reconnect a couple years after we broke up. I thought I was calling someone else. What do guys don't know until they have a girlfriend? How they can lose so much hair but not get bald. I never knew I needed all these extra pillows on the couch and bed. Crazy. Patterns of hair clips. They multiply at exponential rates, quite like tribbles. What joke with your so landed you in the doghouse? When we were preparing our mortgage I quipped that I wasn't worried about a 35-year mortgage because I'd be dead before that. My wife was not happy with that one. She asked me what she danced like, and I asked her if she ever played The Sims. Oh God, she did not like that. We are breaking up right now, but not because of that. I told my wife that her identical twin sister is hot. My wife got a yeast infection like a year ago, and I told her that I always wanted to be married to a woman of culture. What song hits different after you read the lyrics? Grease Lightning. That song is filthy. Meat Loaf said it always depressed him how many people came up to him and told him they danced to 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad at their wedding. It was like, have you ever listened to the damn lyrics? Born in the USA is famously misinterpreted as patriotic. What's something men can't do without being frowned upon? 15 years ago, a guy I dated was alone at a mall, heard happy folks in a new Build-A-Bear store. He walked in, stood there smiling at all the joyful kids and parents until a sales lady sternly asked if she could help him. He realized what he looked like and noped his way out. From my experience, Show emotion. Everyone is an advocate for males' feelings until you actually have them. Not be interested in working 25 hours a day to climb the career ladder and pay for a wife and kids. How often does your wife/GF get on your nerves? Almost never. She's usually very energetic but understands my grumpiness and actually is quite enjoyable to be around at any given time. I love my wife dearly. She gets on my nerves from time to time. I had to learn that it's okay not to enjoy each other 24/7. It's impossible to, so why expect it? Very rarely. We've both gotten pretty good at not annoying each other. Except for teasing, that's a whole different story. Men, what annoys you about other men? Stop trying to fight the rest of us at the bar. I want to drink and have a good time, not ruin my life lol. That guy who is super chill with the boys but turns into an obnoxious know-it-all competitive freak when a girl shows up. Like dude chill. When dudes put other guys down in front of others to make themselves feel better. What's the biggest misconception about relationships you had when you were growing up that you learned weren't realistic as an adult? That love on its own is enough to maintain a relationship. It takes a lot more than that. It isn't normal to constantly be worried that your partner is mad at you / is going to break up with you / etc. It means that you have some trauma / anxiety that needs to be worked through in therapy and or that your partner is treating you badly. When dating someone new, how can one avoid making the date feel like a platonic friend hangout? By making love with them. If it's a date, the intention is different. I don't worry about making it feel non-platonic because as a date, we know it isn't platonic. Ask intimate questions. Dress cutely. Small compliments. Physical touch. What are some tips to make living with toxic parents easier? Moving out. Believe me, I have toxic parents myself. Either you leave or you are going to keep suffering. You cannot change them. Gray rock, meaning limiting the information you give them, limiting your interactions, just being as boring AF so they can't weaponize it. Then plan and prepare to move out ASAP. No contact, except for emergencies did it for me. What did school try to teach you that was obviously false? I drew a picture of a butterfly in preschool and got in trouble for arguing with my teacher because she said butterflies don't have legs, so my picture wasn't accurate. That your permanent record would follow you throughout your career, scaring kids into being good by saying you'll never get a decent job if you don't try hard in school and behave yourself. Some of the biggest D-heads in school ended up with great careers because A, nobody cares about your grades, and B, SHT floats. Saying no to bullies will stop them. What was the most important lesson you've learned from a heartbreak? That life goes on afterwards. I mean, you have to process it. You need to give yourself time and permission to mourn. It's going to hurt for a while, and you have to let it hurt. But life will go on. It will stop hurting. You will be happy again. I'm the most valuable person in my life. Our capacity to be alone measures our capacity to love. That time heals everything and that life goes on. Also not to live in the past. It's done. It can't be changed. I performed surgery on myself. I, 16 female, had a kind of cyst growing on my inside lip. I had it for months now and it just kept growing. So a week ago, I grabbed a blade from a sharpener and with no anesthesia, just a couple of vodka shot inside me, I cut the cyst open. After I cut enough to see a white thing, I pushed the white thing out and a ball came out. I crushed it and some mucus came out. It didn't get infected and it healed nicely. A lady claims to be dating me. I own a small deli, and this lady came in one day. She ordered and I go to ring her up and she tells me that her and the owner are dating and he said that she could get a discount. So I think about it for a second. I've never met this lady in my whole life. I haven't dated anyone in months and so I'm trying to think of the best way to tell her I'm the owner. So I just say I'm the owner and she is baffled and tells me I'm lying and she is just denying it, so I kicked her out. That was a fun interaction though. The face you have now is the face of the person you loved the most in your past life. I heard of this Japanese legend. The face you have now is the person you loved the most in your past life. How does that make you feel? It honestly put a smile on my face, truth or not, but it makes you feel better about yourself, doesn't it? Why does society judge themselves the most so much? What has normalized this? Where did all these standards of beauty come from? Men of Reddit, what is the absolute worst lie a woman has ever told you? Pretending her mental health issues came from her previous boyfriend being stabbed and killed in front of her when she was 16. That previous boyfriend never existed. We had plans on Valentine's Day. I cooked up a 4-course meal, nice desserts, very nice bottle of wine. She arrives, eats a ton of food, drinks all the wine, and then suddenly remembers. I forgot I had plans with my sister to hang out with her at the mall. Sorry, I gotta go. What's an addiction that no one takes seriously enough? Phone addiction. Self-deprecation. It starts as just jokes to break the ice in social situations. Then it becomes a form of sarcasm ingrained into your everyday speech. Then it becomes a true depiction of how you see yourself, and it spirals into depression. Energy drinks. Man, I don't know why I'm so low on energy today. I think I need another Red Bull. No, you need some dang water.